They are very close to their animals. At birth, each newborn child is given a female animal from each species. This is the start of the herd that they will need to provide for themselves. The animals live in the settlement, and some come into the huts. They are part of the family, even though they don't seem to like it all the time. The men milk the cows. To get the cows to come and be still during milking, the Afaras pour some milk on a calf skin. The cows follow the scent of the skin, which makes them calm and easier to milk. A rope is tied around the legs just in case. Now and then, a little milk is added to the skin. If there are no skins available, the cows will settle for some milk straight up. The Afaras love milk. Not just a little glass, but a lot of milk. Everybody drinks it. You have to start early to get used to cow's milk. But Mummy's milk is still better. As the temperatures drop to a more humane level, the women start preparing the other staple food, cornbread. To bake the bread, they use a clay pit which they heat up with a fire. The corn is pounded and ground. They mix it with some water and ground it some more into a dough. The dough is shaped into the right size and gently patted to the sides of the clay oven. The oven is covered to keep the heat in and left to bake. In 40 minutes, hot cornbread can be enjoyed with some fresh milk. After a day's work, the desert fills with drum beats and singing as the Afaras enjoy the somewhat cooler nights. The extreme variations in nature have shaped many cultures in Ethiopia. The hot springs of the desert have become part of the Afar identity. Most springs are poisonous, but in this oasis there are fresh water springs large enough to create a small river. It looks cool and refreshing, but the water is well above 45 degrees Celsius. Since water is a valuable commodity in the desert, the Afaras protect the springs as if they were holy. They have become part of the local culture. Further south in the Bale Mountains, nature has had an impact on religions as well. This is the Webi River. A long time ago, some of the water found a new path through the sandstone. As time passed, it carved out a cave system big enough to capture the whole flow of the river. The Sof Omar caves were formed. It is one of the largest natural cave systems in Africa. The polished rock walls and sandstone pillars reflecting in the surface of the river create a serene atmosphere. Locals believe that something so beautiful must have been shaped by God himself. The beauty of this natural wonder has influenced several religions. In some local religions, the caves are used as a place of worship and sacrifice. The caves were named Sof Omar after a Muslim holy man. About half of the population of Ethiopia is Muslim. They consider these caves sacred as well. Another sacred place for the Muslims is Harar. Harar was a major trading center with the Arabian Peninsula and the Far East for centuries. Islam came to Ethiopia in the 7th century from the Middle East, and Harar became one of the first Muslim cities of Africa. A wall was built around the town to keep enemies out. Within the wall, there is said to be 99 mosques. The colorful people and architecture make it a city different from any other in the country. Christians and Muslims have been living side by side for over a millennia in Ethiopia. Many feel that having faith is more important than what religion you belong to. In Harar, the hyena man is perceived as a religious man with a God-given gift of talking to the hyenas. This gift has been passed down to him through generations. For many, it is yet another testimony of how powerful strong faith can be. There are quite a few wild hyenas left in Ethiopia, but many other large animals are hard to find. The wild hogs are safer, since the lions and other large predators have become so scarce. The growing number of people are farming more land, and the animals lose their habitats. In less than 100 years, most elephants, giraffes, and zebras have disappeared. The numbers of oryx and other antelopes are declining even within the national parks, since grazing land is needed for livestock. The animals you still find in abundance are birds. In the whole of Africa, there are some 2,000 species of birds. The unique variation in climate and habitats has made Ethiopia into a bird haven and home to about 900 of those species. More than 20 of them cannot be found anywhere else in the world. In the southern part of the Ethiopian Rift Valley, there are a number of lakes. Some lakes are deep, others are shallow. There are saltwater lakes and soda water lakes, each one providing their own unique habitat for the birds. The surrounding nature varies from desert and savanna to lush areas around the water. Wherever you look, there are more birds.